What's up, Clemson Nation, TTC? Everybody else out there. Alright, guys. I meant to make this video about Sammy Watkins right after it happened, but I wanted to see what the penalty would be for Sammy Watkins before it happened. Of course, we all know by now he got caught for simple possession of marijuana and subscription pills, or pills that were subscribed to other people, which is illegal, Vyvanse and Adderall, which just about every college student takes during exam week, ADHD pills. So Sammy Watkins, and it happens throughout college football. Marijuana is just a huge thing. It happens a lot to South Carolina players. They're always getting arrested. Happens a lot. It's happened a lot in the past. It's happened a good bit to Clemson players. Mike Bellamy got arrested for possession of marijuana before the ACC championship game. Missed that game and the Orange Bowl because of it. And, even though it is, so common in for college athletes and all that, when you're a role model and supposed to be, looked up to by all these kids like Sammy Watkins and, supposed to be a model student athlete like Dabo said he was, you don't need to be getting caught with this kind of stuff, and there needs to be a stiff penalty. Without a doubt miss the Auburn game and the next two games, which I know are cupcakes, but, the Auburn game is huge. That'll pretty much determine how our season goes. But, there's no excuse for that when you're in the position that he is in. And to all the kids that look up to him and stuff, and he's apologized and all that, but there's no excuse for that when you're in that situation and you have, all those people looking up to you. So, without a doubt, I think he should miss 3 games at least. And we'll see. They still have not announced that, which is surprising to me. I guess they're still trying to get all this stuff, but like I said, 3-game suspension. Now let's move on to it's the time of year again, guys, where conference realignment is being talked about, and the biggest news this year and the biggest rumors going around has been that Clemson and Florida State, like 2 years ago, they were rumored to be going to the SEC this year, and a little last year, the Big 12 is it. And now that they've actually announced the playoffs are going to occur, which is good, people are feeling, Clemson and Florida State will not have as good of a shot if they're in the ACC because of the schedule and the RPI, strength of schedule, all that stuff. And, I don't know. Here's the thing. As far as money is concerned, the ACC just announced that they just signed this contract where each team will be making $17 million a year. Now, the Big Ten has got I think they're going to be making about $25 million per team. And the Big 12 will be making, with 10 teams, $20 million per year, and the SEC will probably be somewhere around $30 million per year. So, in the ACC, we will be left behind monetary-wise. If we go to the Big 12, they're saying it'll be around $24-25 million per team versus the $17 million per team per year that we would be making in the ACC. But, money is not, it helps without a doubt. But, you have teams like Tennessee and Florida who are making a ton of money in the SEC, and they're having down years. So it really does come down to how you play on the field. Personally, I would love playing Texas and Oklahoma every year over Wake Forest and Boston College and Syracuse and Pittsburgh. And yeah, they got some teams that, at least everybody but Baylor pretty much, who is now on the rise, has a lot of fan support in that conference. You don't see that so much in this conference, with the tiny fan bases that some of these schools have. And of course, it's a basketball conference run by John Swoffie and his basketball mind. And he tried to get this contract up to $20 million per team, but he failed miserably at that. So, there's just another reason for Clemson and Florida State to leave the conference if we have a chance. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, North Carolina. They, as we know, got a public reprimand from the ACC with their just academic fraud, which is still being uncovered. This is probably the worst cheating scandal in the conference, but they're trying to, in conference history, they're trying to sweep it under the rug. This is just, absolutely all academic, which is just killing the integrity of this conference, which John Swofford, attacked Clemson and some of the other teams who got in trouble over, like Georgia Tech, who lost their ACC championship over $300. North Carolina is cheating in the classroom, and got nothing but a 1-year bowl ban and no fine, because apparently the ACC teams and athletic directors voted 7-4 against fining North Carolina $100,000, further punishing them, which, I mean, I know all the North Carolina schools, even NC State, because their athletic director, I mean, their fans might hate North Carolina, but they're part of the North Carolina system. So I'm pretty sure they voted against it. Now, the teams that probably voted, I mean, Wake Forest might have, because they've always voted with Clemson, but I'm sure Clemson, Florida State, Wake Forest, some other teams, the 4 teams that voted to fine North Carolina knew what they were doing. They got away scotch-free pretty much. And yes, there was basketball players involved in this. 23 basketball players involved in this cheating scandal. Of course, we're not going to see anything come from that. I mean, it is pathetic how bad North Carolina cheats, and their fan base is still acting holier than thou. That's just another reason to leave this conference, complete favoritism. But, guys, that's about it for now. Clemson baseball. Gamecock fans, we are predicted in the latest bracketology to be in the Columbia Regional as the number 2 seed. That would be interesting. Clemson is very bipolar right now. They've played great some games and have played horrible some games. Like they played good against the first 2 games against College of Charleston and horrible the last game. So, we'll see which team y'all get. Y'all are much more experienced going into playoff time, but we don't know how we'll finish. We've got a big series against Florida State this week. That's it for now, guys. Just wanted to get a little update. Will Clemson and Florida State be in the Big 12 next year? Probably not, but we'll see. These rumors might turn into something. Go Tigers. Let's go.